According to Francis Batista, founder of Best Friends Animal Society, about 9,000 adoptable pets are put down in shelters a day because there isn't enough room for them. Adopting pets can not only help stop animal mills, but it can also give a second chance to animals to be loved and live a happy life. Uneducated people should be aware of what happens behind the closed doors. So, for example, they need to know like what goes on during the process of the animal mills, breeding animals to when they actually get to the stores and what the animals' lives are like in the stores. However, there is still hope to save the pets in shelters and to put an end to animal mills that still exist. One problem that people aren't aware of is that when people do buy animals from animal stores or online stores that say that they're shelters but really aren't, is that they support the works of animal mills and breeders when they do buy them from pet stores or online stores. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, also known as ASPCA, puppy mills are where most stores get their pets, and puppies usually are brought to stores or online stores as early as 8 weeks old. And to me, that's just very, very young for any type of animal to be taken away by their mother. And then also, often, when these animals do grow up that are from the puppy stores or any type of online store or any puppy mills or animal mills, they actually suffer from anxiety a lot when they're older. And also, the people for the ethical treatment of animals are also known as PETA. They're the largest animal rights organization, and they conclude that puppy mills usually house dogs that are in overcrowded and unsanitary conditions without adequate veterinarian care, food, water, or socialization. And socialization for any type of animal is very important, so they actually know like how to socialize with animals that are like them instead of like people that adopt them or buy them. Um, the causes on why pet stores and puppy mills still exist is that when people go to pet stores like Petland, they like usually like feel bad for these types of animals that they're locked up in such a crowded cage, and they just buy them. PETA also says that without veterinarian care and socialization, it results into unhealthy animals. It is very true because these animals should be able to socialize with animals just like them, but they can't if they're locked up in cages like separate from each other, and the cages are very very small as you can see from these pictures. Now PETA too is also run by animal lovers, but they are also vegetarian, so they don't eat any type of meat. They say that most animals sold in pet stores were bred in large scale breeding mills where they were crammed into tiny filthy cages or bins. These mills mass produce animals as if they were products and often ignored basic needs. And also, they conclude that that usually when the moms are unable to produce more litters or they're just like very unhealthy, the puppy mills are actually just like kill them, like they're nothing, and they're just loving creatures that don't deserve the life that they live. My mom and I actually like went to a store. So when I wanted to get a puppy, I've been wanting a dog for ever since I was little. And my mom and I actually went to Petland to just see like what kind of breed of dog I wanted. And so we actually went to the Petland and we just looked at the dogs, and their prices were outstanding. And usually Petland and like Petco and those types of stores, they only get purebreds, so they charge way too much. The one dog that we looked at, I can't remember exactly what the dog was, but it was about $3,000, and that only included that they were fixed, and that was it. Um, And I will admit another cause is that like I was one of the uneducated people of the dangers about buying pets from online stores or from Petland and just like stuff like that, and just like I had no idea what pet mills were. I had I have two dogs. One we actually got from like an actual shelter, and then the other one is my dog Gracie, and we got her from an online. Uh, they call themselves rescues, from Heaven to Earth Rescue. Um, and Tootsie, she was about $50, and she was happy and healthy like ever since she was a puppy. However, Gracie, she was $350, and she still suffers. She's 2 years old, and she suffers from separation anxiety. She can't be left alone for more than an hour and a half without like tearing something apart, and she hates small spaces. And I feel like that's because she was in a puppy mill and like was not cared for. Also she has to suffer like the consequences of just being like not loved enough just because she's a dog and was crammed into small spaces with her brothers and sisters, which is absolutely not right at all. So in order to solve these issues or to solve these causes, I can tell you, just do not buy from pet stores, do not buy from online stores, because the animals are forced to live in cramped and unclean mills, and they can carry so many illnesses, and they're way more expensive than you should be paying for them. And you're also supporting the puppy mills, any type of animal mills, when you buy from the stores. But if you are looking to adopt an animal, I urge you to just strongly go to a shelter. Don't even bother going to a store. Like if you're looking for what type of breed you want, go to a store, get some ideas, but don't support them in any way or form. There are also petitions that you can sign, and that shows awareness of your part and can aware like the government that like this is a problem and this needs to be solved. And avoid what I did look up information of any single type of shelter online. Go on Google and look up like nearest shelters near me or whatever, but just do look up reviews. And also when you're searching, just look up shelters near me and not pets for sale, just because most of the time they will lead you to puppy mill or animal mills and like pet stores, and that's not a good thing. And just in addition, just like become aware before you buy anything, just like clothing stores or anything. And also remember, there's no such thing as a good breeder. Thank you.